Hey YouTube family, this is Jerome and I've got another video for you. I mentioned to some of my friends that I was going to do this video, and it's inspired by something that I saw yesterday on YouTube. A Facebook friend of mine who does something called Transparent Tuesdays. Her name is Kiwi. She does this thing on every Tuesday, which just talks about different things about how how she's overcoming homosexuality over the last couple of years. And she was talking about how women who are coming out of lesbianism, certain things they need to do to capture or recapture their femininity. So in turn, I wanted to do something similar to help brothers, men out there who want to come out of homosexuality, who may have been, labeled as feminine or sissy because of their actions. I want to help them and just give them advice on, steps on how you can possibly, gain masculinity. And that's not to say that guys who are gay are not masculine, because many are, because, that's why they cut, down low bros and all that. There are men who are masculine who are also gay, but there are many who are not masculine and are gay, and they want to change their lifestyle, change their attitude, change a lot of things about themselves. So this video is going to be titled "Act Like a Man." Um, and it's not just acting like a man. It's just learning how to get comfortable in your own skin as a man. And some of these things I've done, and some of these things, just advice. One of the first things I want to suggest is that if you have a lot of friends who are in the lifestyle, particularly those who may be feminine, you may want to consider distancing yourself from them, not spending a lot of time with them, because a lot of times we act on what we see. We act around our environment. So if our environment is all gay, all, feminine guys with their wrists down and sashaying and doing all this, going to gay clubs, voguing and all this other stuff. That's what you're probably going to pick up and emulate. But if you're around men who are masculine, that may change your view. Some people feel uncomfortable, and that's how I felt initially when I started hanging around guys who were more masculine. At first, I felt intimidated because I felt that I would be outed, because at the time I wasn't really sharing my testimony. So I was trying to act like I was just one of the regular guys, and I was trying to hide the fact that I used to be in that lifestyle. But the more I hung around, and I'm not just talking about just any man, not men who just go to the bars and drink and cuss and pick up on different women every night. I'm talking about godly men, men of valor, men who do stuff for the community, men who pray, men who help out others, men who respect women. Men, just manly men. And that's what helped me. Just as I was breaking up with the last person I dated, I began participating in the men's ministry at my church. And through that, that's partly how I learned on being a man, because here I was, 30 years old at the time, and I didn't know anything. 30, 31 years old, I didn't know anything about being a man. I didn't have a father figure in my life. And, all of what I learned, I saw from the streets. And then, of course, whatever my mother tried to teach me. And, here's one thing. Unfortunately, a woman, no matter how good of a wife or a woman she is, she cannot be a father. She can do things that father does, but she cannot teach a man how to be a man. So, there's only so much she could do. So, I needed real male role models, and I really didn't have many growing up. So these guys, some were even younger than me though, but these guys became the people who I use to see how to become a real man. And, it's just simple little things, just going to see, there's chick flicks, no guy flicks. I mean, watching sports, just, hanging out and just having a good time, bowling, doing stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't anything complicated, just spending a lot of time with them. And then eventually what happened was, you know, I began to feel more comfortable in my skin, and I began to emulate what they did, as opposed to what I used to do, emulate what I saw other gay guys did. So that was one thing that helped. So one suggestion I have is for you to find different men who are positive, who are godly, and who are comfortable in their own manhood, who can kind of assist you in showing you how to, become a man. It may be simple things like, and I'm not saying that, you have to be, if you don't like sports or if you don't know how to change a tire, that you're not a man. There's simpler things, cutting the grass. Doing lawn work. These are things that guys do. So, just little things like that. You know, working out. Not well, I know a lot of gay guys work out too, but just doing different things, hanging around men in different environments, positive environments. That's one thing. Another thing is your attitude, your actions. For example, walking. Now, I've never had a problem with the way I walk. My walk, from what I've been told, is masculine, and some people say, I guess I got the George Jefferson strut or something, but they're just kidding with me. But I've never had a problem with that. But I know there are some guys who have, a switch in their walk. So that might be something one might consider doing, changing the way you walk, changing the way you talk. Now, me personally, I don't have that high of that deep of a voice. My voice is very light. So, when I'm on the phone, sometimes they mistake me for a woman, and unfortunately, it's something I can't change. I can only go so deep with my voice. It's about as deep I'm going to get, being comfortable. Other than that, I'm just going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be sounding like Mariah Carey. Not Mariah Carey, but like Barry White. That would be uncomfortable for my voice. So, I could just do it at this register. But, sometimes, you can try to speak a little deeper in your voice. And another thing is the things you say. Saying things like child, girl, honey, stuff like that, and the way you say it, the way you enunciate things, that can assist you in, not being as feminine in that. So, you may not want to, do those things, like say that, calling, I see this a lot in the gay community. Guys calling other guys girl, honey, fish, all that, a lot of those terms that are used by gay guys, you may want to cut those out and, try to replace your vocabulary. You don't have to say, hey, baby, what's up, what's cooking, chick, stuff like that. But, I'm just being silly. But, you can speak intelligently without being feminine and without being offensive as a man. So just think about what you say. Your clothing, you may want to consider what you wear. That was another thing I really didn't have a problem with. I went from dressing like a poor guy when I was in high school to, just learning style. And I admit that it was one of the people who I used to date who kind of taught me how to dress good. But, it was not in a feminine way. It was, in a good masculine way. But I do see some guys who, wear things like ascots, and not saying that ascots make you gay, but I don't know. That just that doesn't define gay, but that makes me wonder if you are gay. So, you may want to consider not doing that. And certain scarves that you wear. I wear scarves, especially when it's cold, but the way you wear the scarf and all that, they may be a determining factor and people wondering what you are, gay or straight. So, tight clothing. I know everybody doesn't have, have some people have that skinny figure. You want to, show it off, but I mean, just wearing too tight clothes, that's a tell-all sign or assumption that you're gay. And, that's not, it may not be right, but it's the truth. So, I mean, when you wear tight clothing, especially those who are slender, I mean, that may make the assumption that you're gay. Just watch what you wear. I mean, if it looks like a blouse, then you may not want to wear it. I mean, there are some things I see guys wear that, look feminine. So, I mean, I'm not saying that you need to wear your pants sagging down, but I mean, you can feel comfortable. I wear clothes that are baggy, but of course, I'm not skinny. I'm rather husky, as you can say, if you want to say husky. And, I have thick thighs and stuff. So, I can't wear those skinny jeans and stuff, even though I wanted to, which I really don't. But even when I was slim, I didn't want to do that. So, I mean, just watch what you wear. Your hairstyles. I mean, certain hairstyles. You may not want to color your hair brown and other colors. You may want to keep it just, basic black, or if you're older, gray or white, whatever. But, when you start trying to color your hair different colors, people are going to make that assumption. It may not be true, but, people are going to make that assumption. Just like when Cisco, years ago, when he was coloring his hair different colors. I mean, there are some people who were thinking that he was gay. He probably wasn't. But there are people being suspicious about that. So this is particular for my African American guys. Of course, if you're Caucasian, then it's not much of a factor. But to my African American guys, I mean, blonde is not a natural color for you. So you may want to consider not using that color to put in your head. And I mean, it's just different things with your hair. I mean, you may not want to have it looking long. You may not want to have a perm in your hair. You may not want to, have, if you have, dreads or braids, you may not want to have them styled a certain way, because that may make the assumption that, you're trying to look feminine with that. So, I mean, it's just different things. I know some guys who wear well, not lipstick, but I guess lip liner or something, lip gloss, or get their eyes arched and all this. I'm not saying you can't get your eyes arched, but, do in a way that will just, groom it. Don't be doing it just to look more female, feminine. I mean, just little things like that. And just change your mindset. Like I said, earlier I was saying you need to hang around guys who are godly, who have never struggled with their sexuality, and have known they were men, and had no doubt about that. Things like that. We need to start doing that. And those things like that help me gain my masculine, because even though some people said they didn't think I was gay, I guess I found a way to conceal it. I always felt uncomfortable about my sexuality, about, being, I always thought I was too feminine at times, too sissy-like. And I think it goes back to when I was in junior high school, when, some of the guys at my school called me Kool-Aid because I was sweet. Well, they thought I was sweet. I didn't know anything about being a sissy and all that stuff. And, it happens. And if you see a younger guy who may be struggling with that, just encourage them. Don't make fun of them. Don't say you need to be a man. No, just encourage them. Be a man in their life. And, just doing something subtle, things like that can help them grow into their manhood and, grow out of that thought that they may be gay. And, a lot of times when that happens, they may prompt predators to come and try to take their innocence. I've heard a lot of cases in which, because of a child being feminine, other predators come after them and, molest them, rape them, And then, you know, these kids become confused about their sexuality and, you know, think that maybe they are gay. So, I mean, whatever you do, don't make fun of anyone who may be feminine or any men who might be feminine like that. I mean, that's not going to help them. What will help them is to show them how to be a man. Show them how to act, you know, like a man and not just a rowdy man, a godly man. And as I'm growing as a man, that's what I want to do to those who may want to come out of lifestyle or those who are young who need a male role model. So, I mean, as I'm learning, I want to teach others how to do the same. So, this pretty much concludes my video. I hope this helps someone who needs it. And I pray that those who may not want to come out of lifestyle, who are okay with the way they are, that they're not offended by this. This is not for you. And, you know, if you want to continue in that lifestyle, I mean, that's your prerogative. But, you know, there are a lot of people who don't feel that way, who want to come out of that lifestyle, who want to make a change. So this video is for you. So I hope this blesses you. And until next time, peace.